Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados and deadheads. Welcome back for another episode of MaliceCast TV Talks Fear the Walking Dead. This is our what we call our 3 R's podcast, our react, recap, and review podcast. We're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 6, just in case I forgot my notes, so I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head right now. So,
well, I just watched it like an hour ago, so I'm fresh.
So, yeah, welcome. Hopefully you guys can join us and let us know what your thoughts are in the chat room. If you had any thoughts on the episode, sound those off in the chat room and let us know what your thoughts were. As always, I am your resident host, your resident undead host on the Talking Dead cast, or Talk Dead to Us cast. Can't say Talking Dead because then we might get in trouble by AMC.
Yeah, that's copyright.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Talk Dead to Us cast. Mess 5150. Also joining me, our resident deadhead, our aficionado of all things zombie and Walking Dead, Mrs. Malice.
Hello. Yay. Can't wait to talk about this episode, actually. So, to me, it was good. Really good.
Jack is saying in the chat room that the 3 R's are rage, regret, and retribution for after watching us for an hour. That's mainly because Jack hasn't watched the episode, and now we're going to talk about everything that happened in the episode.
Should really do that before we do this.
Yeah. So, also on the cast, you just heard him talking. I see Zorro.
Hi, guys. It's great. Like I said, I just watched this thing about an hour and a half ago, and I had enough time to watch Talking Dead afterwards too. So I kind of know what people are going to be talking about.
Well, I mean, after watching the episode, you kind of know what people are going to talk about. Yeah, what we do here is we like to recap what happened in the episode, give our thoughts on the episode, our reactions to what happened, and play games of throwing out weird conspiracy theories that I threw last week that just were shot to the wolves this week by the episode. Yeah. And we also have a little segment that we like to call WTF Writers. This week's episode, I didn't feel had a WTF Writers moment. However, there was a WTF Writers moment in the way of a Forbes writer, which I will be bringing up the comments he made about how horrible the episode was, despite the fact that I thought this episode was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
We're going to throw Forbes under the the bus.
They literally gave us like a little bit, but a lot at the same time.
This guy just complained to no end that the episode was one of the worst episodes ever and how it's like becoming like the traditional Walking Dead writing. And I'm just like,
no.
What did you watch? Oh. Yeah.
Was he watching
there was one thing that he made a comment towards that I kind of agree with him on, but we'll get into that.
Jack says we need to start a WTF mast.
That's every single second of every
pretty
day.
Much every episode that we do.
Yeah. So but yeah, let's get right into it so I can get to the other stuff later, talking about what happened in the episode. So as we said, this episode was called Just in Case. We found out why later in the episode, but the episode opened up picking up from John Dory and Morgan tracking down the vultures after they had gone to their little walk, and Dory told Morgan about what happened. To which we see this guy collecting stuff in a liquor store. And
yeah, that was a very intricate cart, by the way. Like, they did a lot of work on that.
Well, here's my thinking while he was grabbing this stuff. So he's going up and he's grabbing a neon light bulb, and here's a mirror and just all this useful stuff.
The door hinge.
But my immature thinking, I went straight to Steve Martin's The Jerk, where it's like, I don't need you. I just need this light bulb. I just need this mirror. I don't need this zombie.
And this ashtray and this lamp. That's all I need is my thermos, and my lamp, and this mirror that you can see around the corner in a gas station.
That's where my thinking. And then he hits the bell to the door and looks up and it's like, ooh, I need that too.
Definitely gonna need this bell. But that's all. That's all I need.
That's all I need.
To which we see he didn't help at all. We saw it didn't help at all because a gun gets cocked to the back of his head, and it's John Dory doing.
I mean, that was an impressive little scene from John Dory there. His
Yes.
little monologue there. He's just so you know, I don't want to kill you. You know what that sound is, and I'm gonna put this gun. You hear that sound? That's me holstering it again. Don't reach for yours. I guarantee I'm faster than you. And damn, that dude is faster than everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it gave me
Could've
a.
mentioned we had two of them.
It gave me a Dirty Harry vibe on it. Like, do you want?
Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you? Yeah.
So, yeah, he tells the guy, "I know who you are. I know you're part of. I've seen your flags. I know we have a person in common, which we're assuming is Naomi, Laura, what you know, Elfman's character. And all I want from you is an answer to one question."
Don't think that's the character they have in common. He doesn't know that Laura Naomi is a part of the zombies until the very end of the episode.
No, but he knows that she interacted with them because they said that she died. The other group, our main group, said that she died in the interactions with the vultures. So,
okay.
So he says, "I just want an answer to a question." The guy turns around, he holds up the flag, and you see him doing the eye quiver. Like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna go for it?
That dude could not have telegraphed more that he was going for his gun.
Yeah. And I love the over your shoulder Morgan. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Don't
They were
do it. He's fast. He's
They
fast.
were totally good cop, bad copping him.
Yeah, they were.
It was like, I don't want to shoot you, but I'm gonna shoot you. He's like, no,
I'm gonna
don't shoot him, man. Don't shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him.
I feel like Morgan and Dory are literally now the sole characters. Like they're meant to be together.
It is such a fantastic combination. They are great
No
together.
more
Jack mentions a hinge is extremely useful in the apocalypse. It has hundreds of uses.
Of course. Yeah, no, you scavenge any hinge you can. And yes, Jack also says Morgan is the good cop. Yes, Morgan is the good cop in that situation, which is just how screwed up we are at this point. Because John Dory seems like a great dude.
He's the good cop when he's not clearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when he's cleared, he's the good cop. When he's So yeah, the guy goes for his gun. He shoots off a finger.
So fast.
Oh, I know.
And
I was like, yes, moment.
uses the flag to cover it up, and the guy plays stupid. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right?
To which, John Dory searches his pockets, finds a map that's exactly the same as the map that they found last episode for the get together that the vultures are going to be having. That the team
like a little shindig.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a get together.
So, Dory loses it a little. Would you say?
Yeah, he absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
He's so intent on finding Laura / Naomi that this is the one thing that may make him unhinged. And this kind of helps me understand why he did the whole quitting the force thing after he accidentally killed that guy, because he knows that he's dangerous. He's got skills, and he has a trigger where if you hit that trigger, he might lose his mind. And he's really dangerous with those guns. So after he loses his mind on that dude, he turns to Morgan. He's like, "You need to take these just for now. Just like I should not have these right now. You take them." And I think that was a huge moment in building that character interaction. I thought that was great.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Mrs. Malice?
Then he tells him just in case.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. For safety's sake. Yeah. So, because I don't know if Morgan with his stick would be able to stop him even. So,
I'm not sure you want to even hand Morgan those guns, though, if you think about it.
Well, and then Jack mentions that every person is dangerous when they face the possibility of losing what they love. But at this point in time, he's already lost what he loves. So he's
and I'm more talking about the fact that he even realized that before the zombie apocalypse happened. He was talking earlier episodes back about how he was a cop, accidentally had to shoot the guy, missed the shot, ended up killing him, and he knows he's dangerous. He knows he's got a possibility for killing.
Yeah. So Morgan talks him down, takes the gun. Morgan tells the guy, don't go. Tell your group not to go there because there's people coming to kill you. And he's like, what people? And he's like, just people that want to kill you. So don't go there.
Did you guys feel like that was a betrayal?
No,
I didn't either.
No.
I feel like the way that it was portrayed later in the episode, it was supposed to have been a betrayal of the main group that we have on Fear.
That's the way they felt. Of course, they're going to feel that way.
Sure.
They're not friends with these people.
Yeah.
They're tag along. So then we jump over to Althea and the rest of the group. So Victor, Strand, Alicia, and I'm forgetting her name.
I forget her name too.
Nick's girl.
I know. I keep on wanting to call her Rosita.
Me too.
Does that make me racist? Oh no.
So Alicia's looking at all the guns in the SWAT
Something with
truck,
an
and asking the questions like, how fast do they fire? What's their radius and stuff? And Althea snaps at her, pulls over to the side of the road, does basically the don't make me pull to the side of the road.
We are not driving any farther until you stop talking about this.
Yeah. And Althea tells her, I know what you're trying to do. My guns aren't for hire. My ammo's
My bullets
not for
are
hire.
not for sale.
Yeah. So, don't even think about it, type of thing.
And Alicia was very upfront about it. She's like, why not? Because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Her name's Luciana.
Luciana, there you go.
I looked it up.
Thank you. IMDb to the rescue. So, and Althea just goes back to the same thing as always before. I'm just here to record the stories. I just want the stories. And that's when Luciana says, we'll tell you whatever you want as long as you take us here. And we see a picture of the map, which I gotta assume there's some relevance behind that. Did you guys see anything about the map?
I didn't like screenshot it or anything. I
didn't really look at it. And there's got to be something important about it.
The only thing I saw was there's 3 groups. There's group 1, group 2, group 3 that's written on there. And then it has like the time and stuff of where they're meeting. But there was other things that it was a little blurry for me. So there was other things like crossed out in the groups. And then there was one still that wasn't crossed. It was like main room or something like that. So I don't know if it was places that they're supposed to go to collect things. I
thought it was supposed to be like various meeting spots, and I don't know. Yeah. We should probably go back and look at that just to make sure.
If you guys are watching this later on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/MaliceCorp, please leave a comment below if you have any ideas of what you think is going on that map. If there was other things, Easter eggs, kind of pinpointing towards things that are going to be going on later in the season, or explaining some of the stuff that happened previously in the season, drop a comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are. Or if you're coming back and watching this on Twitch later, leave a comment in the chat and we will see that and we'll come back in and talk with you on that too. So
we're all about the fan interaction.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now we're getting Dr. Seuss in the chat room.
I know, right?
I think it's because talking about the groups. So, but yeah, and then we get this boom, back in time.
And literally the title card said before.
Yeah.
And that's where I can see where it's kind of similar to The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead do that in the previous season. They kind of did the whole flashback thing. Mm-hmm. But this is so we can catch up and understand what's going on. We still don't know what happened at the dam. We don't.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we get a couple of clues about it this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're they're very clear when they are cutting between time periods. The filters on the cameras are totally different. The past stuff is nearly monochrome. Like it's almost sepia toned. Like back in the day, this is what we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, flashbacks provide backstory. Yes, they do.
Of course. It's literally their purpose.
But not too much. No, we go back to the stadium after 2 episodes ago when Alicia was ditched by Naomi, and Naomi's taking care of Alicia, fixing some of the cuts and stuff that she got back at the water park. And then Naomi tries to bolt again.
She's a vulture.
The first thing you hear is "Get out of the car! Get out of the car!" You see one of the
She
ladies
is a
from the
full
stadium
runner. Yeah.
with the gun to the windshield, and Madison comes running over. What's going on? And she's like, "She told us that some such and such needed us, and before we could get back, she was opening the gate and trying to leave on her own." And Madison's like, "Well, if you want to leave, you can just leave. You can take the Land Rover. This is a key thing, Land Rover, with you."
Everybody loves that Land Rover.
And leave. And then she tells them how she wasn't leaving. She knows of a place that probably has what they need to survive through the vultures staying out there.
Yeah, she apparently has been sitting on a cache of New Civilization starter kit this whole time.
Yeah. Well, she's not the only one that was, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what ends up happening is Madison sticks to the rules. Nobody goes out alone. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with you.
Definitely still makes sense.
Everybody else in the world is like, "Nah, I'm going too." You know?
I'm going too. What?
Madison somewhat stuck to her gun. She let Victor Strand come along with her and Naomi.
Because Strand and Madison are probably the best duo in the show.
At this point in time, yes.
Except for, upcoming John Dory and Morgan.
Yeah. Well, I don't like Victor too much, so.
Let's ask this, because you want to talk about being the best duo right now, besides John Dory and Morgan. So we got a little bit of a very small snippet of explanation from after season 3.
When he's asking her, "Why did you save me? You pulled me out of the water, but you didn't have to take care of me. You were nursing me back to health in a cave."
Exactly.
You and Alicia and Nick when he could.
So
what?
That tells me if he's in really bad shape and needing to be nursed back to health, how long before they left Mexico from the dam break? What do you guys think?
Had to been quite a while.
Well, first of all, we know that the time dilation is a major thing because Morgan is there, and this is Morgan after he left Alexandria.
But see, we're trying to figure out how long ago
I want to say
stadium was versus how long ago the.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
I'm saying from the time that Morgan shows up, which is supposed to be the present day, until between Alexandria and that, between the dam blowing up, that's like 3 years. Like the Walking Dead is roughly 3 years ahead.
A long walk from.
Yeah, he walked literally across the country.
Yeah.
That's a long walk and a long drive.
So there's a lot of story still to tell us between getting to the stadium and the dam. We didn't know if it was just going to be, hey, it's a month in between, or if it was going to be it's a year. So if it took time to revive him back to health, it's got to be 6 months minimum.
Well, we also get the impression that they've been at that stadium for at least a year or so.
Yeah.
And then plus traveling from Baja California to Texas had to take a long time. So yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it's 2.5, maybe 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. You think 2.5, maybe 3 years between? Well, for the total span, not.
Yeah, no, in the entirety from when the dam blew up until the now sequences, 2.5 to 3 years, and that's mostly just based on the the time difference between Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead.
Okay. You think anything different, Mrs.
No,
Mouse?
I would have to agree. I mean, because it is a very long walk, so yeah, it's going to take him a while.
How do you stay in such good shape?
Well, we have no food and we have to walk everywhere. So
he had to scavenge for food on a daily basis too. So he probably rested like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then continued walking. Found a car, drove until it was out of gas, and so on and so on. So
I'm praying that the comment from Jack is a mistype.
No, I'm assuming that he Googled the walking distance.
Well, I think he means Virginia.
Yes, he means Virginia.
So.
Oh my.
Because what he literally typed is 472 hours to walk Virgins to Texas. Yeah. Well, it depends on where the Virgins are, first off.
This is why you guys have to be here for the chat live, because this is where the fun happens.
Because your typos may become our comedy gold.
Yes, exactly.
It takes that many virgins to sacrifice to the dead too. So,
please 0.
Undead virgins. How long does that take to walk to Texas?
Well, how many of them really are there?
Okay, so they get to a place for the night. Madison, Victor Strand, and Naomi in a motel to hold up, and Naomi gives the gist on where they're going. That it's a abandoned FEMA station building, and then she.
Yeah, like nobody has decided to check a FEMA station after the apocalypse. She's like, yeah, no, it's a place nobody would really check unless you just like, really? FEMA?
Well, no, it
FEMA.
wasn't. She wasn't even saying it's not a place that you would. She said you wouldn't go there if you look, because she's basically saying it's unsafe.
Yeah, is what she was saying, and which it was.
Yeah, but if you have a middling to decent sized group, it's FEMA. Of course it has supplies. You're going to check that out. I don't care if there's 150 walkers in there. If you got 20 people, draw them out 5 at a time, stab them. Good, get in there, get supplies. Of course FEMA would be ravaged by this point. I thought.
That's what Jack Malice says. He said they would be overrun fast, but
right.
I mean, is that it's maybe there is a WTF writers moment in this episode?
It's a plot device. It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah. Which I still call as a WTF when you just put a MacGuffin in just to put it in to tell the story. But she tells how she wasn't going there specifically to get the stuff. She was running. She was bolting, and she was going to leave the map behind so that they could come later.
Yeah, when you give explanations or excuses after you get caught, they don't count anymore.
Yeah, and that's the way Victor takes it. He's he says she's just a coward. Yeah, and I mean, what did you think in that moment, Mrs. Malice? Were you kind of on the side with Victor on it, or where Madison was like, no, she owned up to it?
He's got room to talk there.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I loved about this episode, was because it was all Victor looking in the mirror with Naomi, because it's
absolutely.
I'm going to tell you about how bad you are because of doing this stuff, but wait a minute, I'm doing all that same stuff.
Well, and I love the fact that he admits it too.
Yeah,
he didn't need to.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Madison is immediately like, just in the moment, like, you know what? Yeah, I forgive you.
Yeah.
And then, but weirdly seems to hold a grudge later.
Yeah.
She didn't want to lose her drinking buddy right away.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She likes to drink with them. I mean, that's why she saved him. He's good to drink with. So, and Jack Mouse forgives you too, Icy Zoro, he says in the chat room.
For what?
I have no idea. I have no.
I wasn't planning on bold.
All the atrocities. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, the atrocities. Yeah, that I need forgiveness.
Yeah. So,
this entire podcast for him.
So Madison says, "Back off." Victor takes her keys so that she can't leave.
Yeah, because she can just walk away.
Work.
Okay.
Because they wake up. Go ahead.
All the people in the world. Wouldn't you think that almost everybody during this and with dealing with all the zombies, the one thing they're going to want to learn quick is how to hotwire a car? I mean, if it was me, that's what I would want to learn to do.
Well, and there's also, if we are caught up to the Walking Dead timeline, we're 3 to 4 years in the apocalypse. Gas is not good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gas expires. Those cars should not work.
Yep.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. It's going to be 10 years into this universe, and there's still going to be gas without a problem. So not enough people know that. So
Jack said, had she been drinking? Because friends don't let friends drive drunk, even during a zombie apocalypse.
No, there had been no drinking going on, but they wake up in the morning and she's gone again, being Naomi, bolting again. But she bolts to FEMA.
Typical Naomi.
To be there, to get there, because she basically has made it clear that it shouldn't be a group going in there. It should just be somebody going in and getting the bit of stuff they need to get. She distracts the ton of zombies that are in there over so that she
Yeah.
can come into a
Cleverly.
different entrance.
Which is smart.
And starts digging through things. You see little flashes of baby clothes and things that you can definitely see they're making her distraught. And then we start seeing JIC.
She was an emotional wreck that entire scene.
Yeah.
She didn't kill a single walker.
I understand her emotion because
of course.
I get that, and that's where I was crying because she did tell Dory that she did lose a kid, and
she lost a child.
This is where we find out she lost.
Yeah, she gets in there. We see JIC everywhere, so now we know where the episode name came from. JIC stands for just in case. She opens a box. There is all types of stuff that's needed in there, just in the factor of guns and things like that.
Just that journal filled with notes on how to survive the apocalypse. Like, that's gold right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack says gas lasts for only 3 to 5 months in a plastic container without a fuel stabilizer.
I thought it was longer. I guess I was wrong.
Ours too. What about?
But not everything's gonna be in a plastic container. So she grabs that. She starts making her way back out. She grabs the keys that say JIC as well. She starts making her way back out. Starts seeing some stuff. Looks over in the kitchen at a pantry and just straight breaks down and says, "I'm sorry." And
I know, like, she would have been totally fine if she hadn't collapsed loudly.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Like, to which brings zombies out of the woodworks from all over the place.
Apparently, she snuck past all of the ones before. There was the big group at the glass door that she distracted over there, but apparently she, just kind of quietly snuck past about 30 to 40 other ones that didn't notice her. Because as soon as she falls to the ground loudly, they're coming from everywhere.
Well, let me ask you that. Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you this, Mrs. Malice. Being a mother, like you said, you were teared up a little bit during that stuff. Same situation presents itself where you've lost your child. Knowing the circumstances that happened with this episode, you see something that reminds you of that. Could you keep moving, or would you break? Or do you think you'd have a moment of weakness and breakdown?
I would break down.
Okay.
As a mom, I'd break down.
Even in a life or death, you need to be quiet to survive kind of situation.
I'd break down quietly.
Yeah,
no, weep all you want, but do it while walking.
Do the horror movie trope where you grow.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
And it's like, don't breathe loud, but you're breathing really loud.
Do that. That's fine. Don't fall to the ground and drop your flashlight.
Yeah, it'd be like, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
We're getting a whole history on what gas tanks make cars the gas lasts longer in the chat room.
We should have known.
Gas tanks in a car are a lost seal pressurized container would extend its life for a period of time, but the pressure would leak away without the car being started occasionally.
Sure.
But what about electric cars?
Well, if this is the same timeline, they were not nearly as prevalent.
No, they weren't. So,
also, you need a charging station.
There was no Teslas.
You would just need the solar panels.
Batteries. Yeah, solar
panels and little wire connection. Yeah, you'd be good.
So she runs further and further in and climbs up to be surrounded by zombies and sits there staring at them, to which Madison and Victor come to the rescue. She tosses them the keys, tells them everything they need is in the truck out back. Victor says, I can save her.
Did anybody else think, oh my God, stop living the blonde girl in a horror movie stereotype? Really? You just ran up the stairs when the killer was in the house. You literally just freed yourself.
Did anybody think she was going to fall into the zombies during that moment?
I did. I thought
I really didn't.
I thought she was actually going to just jump into them and kind of just die with them.
That I had a moment of, yeah.
No, I for a second I thought Victor was going to fail being Victor.
No, because she was very much in self-sacrificial mode at that point. She's throwing the keys to Madison. She's like, "I'm done. You got to go."
Well, and the other thing, but that's the other thing too, is that this is what I thought would happen. You're already getting kind of the pieces put together that the child she lost was there. because she knew the code to the box. So you don't just know the code if you weren't
handprints on the wall with the child art.
So my thinking was she's going to be climbing down that rope, and then all of a sudden her kid's going to come staggering, and she's going to see her. And
oh my God, Rose!
And she's just going to drop it.
That's so, what I thought too. I thought the daughter would come out as a zombie, but I don't.
I'm very happy that she didn't.
Jack says addicts, people, addicts. You hide from zombies and addicts.
Right. He also made a comment about horses.
Instead of electric cars, but we know how well those work for Rick, right? Horses.
Yeah, we saw how well those work.
Did you ever watch what was the show where all the electricity went out in the world?
Yeah, the J.J. Abrams show that lasted a season and a half. Yeah,
horses, good idea.
Yeah. So, but no, zombies are going to eat the horses eventually. It always happens. So,
but that would give you a good chance to get a good clean away because it'd be distracted by eating the horse. So, it's got its pros and cons.
Exactly. So they get away, and then we finally get the reveal. We get the story. We get what happened. That they were living there, amongst other people. That she had a daughter. Her name was Rose. Rose got a little cough, and then she got pneumonia, and her being a nurse, knowing that she just needed antibiotics, so she ran out real quick to go get antibiotics. She was gone for 3 days. She hid Rose in the pantry. She told her not to make any sounds or say anything. And when she came back, and Madison uses nobody could protect it against this swarm that came in here, and she explains that no, my daughter died the first day, and she created the swarm.
Yeah, it wasn't a swarm. She died. She turned all these people. It's my fault.
Yeah. What'd you guys think on that?
I totally agree with her. It's her fault.
It was her fault, and that was probably where I cried because if I had been in that situation, that's a lot of guilt on your shoulders. You literally just killed a lot of people.
Oh yeah, but I absolutely would have done the exact same thing.
Me too.
Except maybe not so much with the hide in this storage closet or whatever.
Well, she said she didn't tell anybody because she didn't want to be kicked out because she saw that happen in another community she was at before.
Sure.
Having that fear, I might have done the same thing. Or if I had somebody that I trusted in that group, if one person I trusted, I would have told them.
That's one thing. She didn't explain how long she was there, so we don't know if there was any trust to be created yet.
Yeah, like, did you have 0 friends? You were part of a large group, and you were not close with anyone? There should have been at least one person that she was comfortable with, like, hey, I'm going to leave. I got to find some medicine. My kid's sick. If anything happens, can you please take care of her? You've
just put a hole in your own theory right there. Think about the character we're talking about, Naomi. Have you seen her trust anybody yet?
That's true. No, she does not. She doesn't.
How long it takes for her to actually try and trust somebody?
That's fair.
So I got to believe she was the same way even before. That it was just...
And when she was looking through the notebook of apocalypse survival tips, was it just me or did anybody else think, is she actually a nurse or did she just learn all her stuff from the little prepper's guide that she got there?
I think she's a nurse. I mean, she told John where she was.
She did talk about working in the emergency room. That's true.
So, and she knew when her daughter got sick what she needed, and she knew what to go get and stuff. So, I mean, everybody.
That's fair. So, it was just a thing that crossed my head.
Yeah, no, it's a good. This is the thing that crossed my head. Now, you guys love my crazy, out there things and stuff. There's more to this story than she's saying.
Oh yeah,
where did the cut come from?
And I think too is
she gets back and somebody cuts her, or she just falls and gets cut and then ends up in the river somewhere. There's something. There's more to it. It's not just my daughter was here and then I got back too late.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely going to need to see how she washed up on John Dory's shore.
There's more to the story. I
think she got stuck with the vultures before too.
I think she tells half truths. That's what I'm learning from this character more and more. There are half truths constantly coming from her that
we still don't know what her
it was her kid, but did she know more than was going on that caused the whole thing to happen to FEMA the way it did?
See, that one I feel like is genuine. Like I feel like that was ripped out of her soul.
Yeah, because
Like-
the way she responded to it, it was definitely that one was true.
Yeah, and the circumstances, like they had literally just saved her life again from people that she had given up, and refused to kill as walkers because they were her former friends.
But
I
the
feel
building was gated up and everything. I mean, who did that? Was it her?
her.
Did she get? Yeah, and that's what I mean. Was everybody dead, or did she? Hey, you let my child die. I got you. You know,
Ooh.
and that's when the cut came. I'm telling you, there's half truths here.
That I had not considered that. That's a really good angle on that.
Did she
I like
trap
that.
all of them in there?
It's like, oh, 3 of you are zombies now, but my daughter's dead, so screw all of you. I'm locking you in.
Yeah. So, was there something in terms of an escape happening because the lady that was getting all the just in cases made was locked in her car to leave?
I was a little bit curious about that. Like
That's what I mean. There's more to this story.
the just in case lady was literally in the truck that she had prepped when everybody else was locked in the building.
Yeah.
That's curious.
I'm telling you, there's more to this.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
I
If
didn't
you're-
think about that.
If you're right, that's going to be a great call.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I thought. I'm like, they're still leaving things out. There's stuff that's not connecting point A to point B about her. And Jack says, what if they killed her daughter just in case because they found her sick? Because that's the other thing is, how does she know it was the first day that her daughter? She's gone 3 days.
That story is a little bit specific.
What
Yeah.
if one of them told her that when she came back?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I think that story was told to her by the girl that is in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she killed her because of that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's something fishy here with Naomi. So.
And it ain't her and Nori fishing.
So they get the truck. The truck's filled with all types of goodies. They take the truck back to the stadium. Alicia walks out to the head guy of the Vultures and is like, I want you to listen. And he listens and they see the truck come around and it's like, we've got everything we need to survive. So,
Yeah, when they're pulling in that flatbed full of survival supplies and seeds and fertilizer. I love the fact that he turns around. I can't remember if it was on the radio or not. He goes, "Yeah, this is going to take longer to wait out than we have time for, so we should go." Did you have a time limit set? Like, if they don't give up in another 20 days, we're going to have to go.
Well, they made the point of, hey, if you've already ransacked everything within 50 miles that we were trying to ransack, you're not going to, you thought we aren't going to have time. How much time are you going to have? Because now we can clearly wait you out because we'll be growing new crops and everything. And it's like, no, we can't wait more than a month or 2 months or whatever it was that they were planning. It's like, we got to move on. To which I thought was a noble thing from the Vultures. They stuck to their plan of not being, we're not going to kill anybody. We're not going to, we're just going to sit here and wait.
Well, mid-episode, they stuck to that. End of the episode.
But that one, once again, we've got, we get that whole story. Victor tells Madison about, that he bolted, that he was setting up to run away, that truck wasn't found by them, that it was him, filling it and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, Madison switches gears. She's looking out at the stuff going on outside. She sees the Vultures gone. She tells Alicia, I'm going to tell you something to do, and I don't want you to say anything. Just do it. And it's take the Land Rover, fill it up, get a couple guns, stuff like that, park it out somewhere safe, just in case.
I love the fact that the very first instruction in that sentence was, I need you to do something, don't ask any questions. So what does Alicia do? Asks all the questions.
Yeah. Because she's her daughter. That's what daughters do. They ask.
Well, and honestly, it's a weird enough request that you should be like, hey, what? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's changing everything. It's like, hey, we just won. We got everything set up. But now Madison's got enough of we need to have a contingency just in case, because you never know what's going to go wrong. Can we really trust these people? Because she just told her story about her daughter and how she couldn't trust the people that she.
She does give her the line too, just in case.
Yeah. So
he's done a lot in this in this episode.
There was quite a bit, yeah. So they jump up to they jump back up to the present time. We see Alicia and everybody getting to where they were going to ambush the vultures. There's nobody there. There's one truck coming up, so they're like, okay, they're arriving.
Like, they're here. How many?
And, yeah,
One.
who gets out of the truck? Morgan and
John Dory.
So, to which your thing of like, they're betrayers is how they acted on them from the get-go.
Yeah.
And they make them take knees. They got guns to their heads. The whole, they're going.
And by the way, how badass was the gun that Alicia was carrying?
With
That was
the
like a
grenade launcher on it.
freaking automatic shotgun with a grenade launcher on the bottom. I haven't seen that one before.
Well, Morgan looks to Althea and is like, hey, do something about this. And she just stands there videotaping. And this is the first time that I'm like, all right, now we got a dark streak with Althea somewhere. There's something, those tapes that she was hiding and protecting.
There's
some
a lot of
genocide she let happen. Just genocide she let happen and didn't do squat about it.
That girl's a watcher.
Oh,
yeah.
I felt like, am I watching 8mm? What's happening here?
She's definitely a watcher.
So Jack says, so she killed the guy that killed her daughter, then locked them in with his turned corpse. Yeah, I could see that happening. We're talking back about Naomi.
Yeah.
So yeah, things go crazy. The vultures come driving up. Morgan's telling them how they're not coming because he told them not to come.
Yeah,
He doesn't want any more death happening.
No, I totally warned them, so they're not going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To which
wait.
They just took that as, okay, that's a warning, meaning that we should bring all our guns and bring everybody. So it's a Mexican standoff we have going on. Morgan jumps in front. They're like, you don't need to stand in the middle of this. And then you hear a voice. Where is everybody? And they're like, you didn't tell her? And they're like, no. And they're like, oh, you guys are going to love this. And here comes, again, the Land Rover.
Did anybody believe that she was really dead? I didn't.
No. But once again, this is the like I said, key thing. Here comes the Land Rover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
just in case.
And getting out of the car is Naomi.
Did anybody else think for a second
a little more badass than usual?
Did anybody else think for a second that it might be Morgan or no? What's her name? Madison.
No, because when I heard the voice, I knew it was
Madison was
Naomi when I heard the voice on the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
But looking a little more badass. She had her hair like kind of pulled back, and So Jack says, no, it was Rick.
That would be a real big twist.
And
that would have been a crazy twist.
So
we all just fell out of our chairs.
In this moment, it shoots my crazy theory about Madison and John Dory and stuff out the window because he sees her and he's like, Laura? And she's like, John?
Yeah, because Laura is definitely not her name. Whatever her name is, it's not Laura.
Well, and Alicia starts losing it. No, and shoots and ends up shooting John. And
because John starts wandering over to her, like, just, oh my God, you're alive. Come here, give me a hug. Alicia turns and she goes, no, shoots at Laura and Naomi. John gets hit. And this is the only moment in the show where I was like, what? No, what? Why? What?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. Oh, no!
Yeah, that's basically what Twitter did. Twitter went nuts. Twitter was like, if John's dead, I'm done with the show.
He is the new Daryl.
There was a good point that was made. Yes, he is the fan favorite right now. There's a good point that was made. This show is trying to get watchers now, not lose them. And they're doing it right now. They're doing it with the way that they're writing these episodes.
They're doing it well.
Yeah.
Which is why they pulled Morgan over to the show too, I believe, is they're trying to get the Walking Dead fans to come watch Fear the Walking Dead.
Well, there was one article I read about, like, they don't usually review shows that they've already reviewed before, let alone in their 4th season. But because of how good the writing is on this, it needed a reevaluation.
The writers are seriously killing it right now.
These new writers, these new showrunners are fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walking Dead.
Well, we talked a little bit last week. The episode Laura, maybe my favorite episode in this universe. Like, these guys are killing it right now. They're weaving stories together. They're killing people that we love in a sentimental way. They're introducing characters that we are immediately glemming onto. They're killing it.
So
I don't like they killed Nick though. That actually.
Yeah, well, when you guys, I'm starting to get an inkling that something what's going to happen with this show, and I'm going to give you my crazy theory thing again. But didn't you guys think John's dead as soon as you saw him get shot?
Yeah. No.
I don't. Yeah,
he got shot low in the left side of the rib cage. He'll be okay. He's winged.
What is the crazy theory that's going to happen? That's going to is it that Naomi's going to save him because she knows she has her nursing history to, like, if he got a bullet caught, she's going to save him and get him all that? Or is it B, something got in the way?
Well,
I don't know the answer to this.
Here's the thing. I watched Talking Dead, and part of the preview for next week's episode was them dragging him behind a car and starting to deal with the wound. It is a wound. Okay. He doesn't have like a crazy.
Well, that's no fun. I wanted you guys to guess what could have gotten in the way.
Yeah, I kind of watched it.
It's Deadpool's skee ball token.
Yeah. Well, no. So I read one article where it was like, you must have had some hard candy in that pocket.
It was 3 pounds of Werther's Originals.
Yeah, I was trying to give to her.
The guy gives everybody candy. It's so weird.
One,
you want some candy?
The other one was I was like, oh, I could actually see them doing this, and it's so cheesy, but I could see him doing it. And the guy was like, "So God, this is the WTF writer I was talking about on Forbes, but I think that was the guy I read saying it. But they're like, so God help me if the bullet got blocked by a metal tin that was holding the Scrabble letters."
Aww, that'd be so sweet, though.
That was one of the other things they said. On Talking Dead. They're like, "Did you think maybe it got blocked by like a hard candy or a Scrabble letter?" Like, oh,
that would be kind of sweet though if it did. The 10 boxes with her words in it.
Yeah.
Say, I love you too.
Yeah.
But so we're getting a shift here now because Laura's clearly Naomi.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Is clearly with the vultures, which now puts Dory on the side of, wait, you're with these people, so they must be the better people because these people have been nothing but psycho since I've met them. The Alicia and Victor and I forgot her name again, Lupita, whatever.
Luciana.
Luciana.
Say Lucy.
So how once you save Dory, how are you going to keep him from not sticking over to the vulture side of things?
He's going to stay on whatever side Morgan's on. That's his new bro.
Morgan's on no side. Morgan's like, we just need to not kill him.
So he might just stay with Morgan then.
Morgan wants to keep going.
He's not going to.
Yeah. So
not for at least a couple seasons.
Here's the crazy theory that all of a sudden I got. I am very fearful of this, but I could see it end up happening, and we got new showrunners and stuff. How many think by the end of this season it's going to be an entirely new cast from what we had in the previous seasons? Do we think Madison's even alive?
I don't.
I think Madison's alive.
You do?
I do.
Okay. Because right now I'm getting more and more as this show's going on, I'm getting the feeling that because now her just in case truck was taken by or Rover was taken by
Naomi.
We haven't seen her at all. She's not with Alicia. She's not with Victor. She's not with Nick. She's not with the group that she would be.
We have not seen her in the present day scenes, and that would explain a lot of the anger that our crew has.
Hey, Fuse 911 joined us. We missed you.
Oh, finally. No, I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I feel like the show is leading us to believe that she's dead. So actually, I think I might actually be with Mrs. Malice. I think she might be alive, and we're gonna get. But I think like two reveals in one season of this person is dead. Wait, no, they're not. That would be a little.
I mean, because we lost Nick.
And
I see no reason. We lost Nick. I see no reason for Lucinda anymore with Nick gone. I really don't.
Luciana,
whatever.
What were you saying, Mrs. Malice?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to drag it out so long that we're going to end up kind of forgetting about her, and then she's going to come back real quick as a surprise.
Can we, though? Can we forget about Madison? She's the central character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that bugged me.
So if she did get injured, she's healing right now. And when she comes back, she's going to be stronger and one pissed off mama.
Well, and that's one thing that they said about that has been so good about the writing is that they've toned down these characters where they're not like Madison isn't this like I'm gonna keep a serial killer around just in case he might be useful later. They've changed. We're talking about Fear the Walking Dead again. That's what we always talk about on Mondays. It's Fuse 911 asked.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Deadpool. Man, I gotta revise all my comments now.
So if you put them back into the characters that they were in the previous seasons, and you take away what work they've done on creating these better characters, but I just have this feeling that Madison's not there. The other thing that was bugging me about Madison, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, is her Southern accent getting stronger with each episode.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, I noticed that too.
I don't know where it's coming from.
It's like she is suddenly from South Carolina.
Maybe she's related to Rick.
That's what I'm wondering, if because of that theory that's out there. I wonder if they're trying to establish that.
So his long lost sister or something. No,
that's what they're trying. That's the theory that's out there.
Brother being a cop in like the first few seasons or something like that. Maybe I'll have to go back and rewatch him, but I could have sworn she did.
I don't remember that, but maybe.
I don't remember, but maybe. That would be
nice. You look into it and get back.
Okay.
I would love that if that was true.
That would be a great.
Like, wait a minute. Morgan, you used to hang out with who? The guy in the east side of the. He was a sheriff? No, that's my brother.
How's Carl?
Small world. Oh man, look at all these walkers. Small world though, right?
How's Lori? Oh, I think she died a long time ago.
How's Lori? Ooh.
The other, another great thing that happened this week with it, Garrett Dillahunt trolled the internet.
I love that guy.
He posted a picture of him like in an embrace with Lauren Cohen.
Oh,
and teased like this. Hey, there's another crossover coming. There's another crossover coming. What it was is it was a scene. It was a picture of a scene from the Mindy Project, but people fell for it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, there's a crossover. Maggie's gonna end up with John Dory.
By the way, Garrett Dillahunt was great on the Mindy Project.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
All right, so we're gonna finish this out with a WTF writer, but like I said, the Forbes writer that said this episode was horrible, and I got to read off the reasons that he said the episode was horrible.
Please.
So we can talk about how ridiculous this guy is, and why most people don't read Forbes for their theories on TV show episodes. So, he said, talking about Garrett Dillahunt, I really don't want them to go down this path of what will be the thing that breaks nice guy John Dory. The entire appeal of the character is that he is righteous and wholesome, and when we saw him threatening to blow that guy's head off earlier in this episode, I saw a flash of good old Rick Grimes in him. This is not how I want this character to develop.
Who cares what you want? First of all, you can't have a one-note character. He can't just be all righteous, all wholesome all the time. The flaws are what make people interesting. I love the fact that John Dory has it, and we've already seen some darkness from him.
Yeah.
His whole origin story.
I didn't see a flash of them copying what happened with Rick.
No, not at all. He's not gonna bite somebody's jugular out.
That was beautiful.
Okay, here's another one. What exactly was the plan with Alicia Strand and Luciana here? Were they going to ambush a meetup? Why were they just walking out in the open? Shouldn't they have been setting up some sort of trap for an enormous convoy like that? Shouldn't they at the very least have been hiding somewhere? I guess they have big guns, but clearly so do the vultures, and now they're in very dumb standoff.
They were hiding.
They could have hit. They were in that. What was it? It looked like a horse race.
They were hiding.
There was a stadium right there. They could have hid in that.
They were in a friggin' sniper's nest.
I know.
I don't know if you noticed, but John's Strand was loaded for bear. That dude had like 6 grenades on him.
I know, right? Why didn't he start throwing them when they were pulling up?
The only reason they were out in the open is because they saw that only one car was showing up, and they're like, "Yeah, we got this."
Fuse says, "Let's go deeper. How many syllables can you put in Carl?"
Get back in the house.
Rah, 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 rah.
Another one. I'm kind of over the back and forth with Naomi at this point. She's nice, but flees at any given time. We spend the whole episode learning her tragic backstory, but turns out she's a vulture, traitor, spy, defector. I guess I want to understand what the hell happened. Was she a vulture the whole time? Did she turn spy to save her skin yet again? But I'm kind of sick of how much they've jerked us around this character and her motivations in just a few episodes. She's becoming way too central to every single storyline between being John's lost love and apparently also the downfall of the baseball diamond. I love the way that they're doing this.
I agree with everything he said right there.
Oh, so you are getting tired of
I'm 100%. I would like her to have some sort of defining characteristic other than I'm gonna run away.
Okay.
Well,
And I involved. Go for it.
They're building up her character because if Madison is dead, guess who's going to become the new female lead character?
Alicia.
Yeah.
No.
Which I'm fine with that too.
I'm fine with Alicia.
They built Alicia up to be a good lead character.
It would make more sense. But I kind of agree with him. The whole is she a constant coward or is she part of the vultures? Because the way that they kind of showed the end of the episode seemed like she might have been sort of in charge of the vultures. Like those two don't work together.
That would be a crazy twist.
Well, and again, we need to figure out what the actual timeline is. And I agree with that. What that writer is saying. Has she always been part of the vultures? Did she join them up recently? What's happening there?
I don't think she's always been a part of the vultures, but I think something happened that once again, there's something we still don't have all the answers, and we're gonna get some. Unfortunately, we only get 2 more episodes, and then
did they not find her in an area where the vultures had cleared? That's when we first met Naomi. Really, she was in an area.
There was something about a flag with a number on it when we first met her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was in an area that was she was in the oil tank when she fell into the oil tank. Who knows? Maybe she is part of them. I don't know. Maybe she's the sister of the brother that died. That's the guy that's Who knows? This was the only thing that I kind of agreed with the guy on. He says, "Well, I'm fine with Morgan moving to Fear the Walking Dead. I really hate when his pacifism is taken to the point of absurdity. So he caught one of the vultures and told him about the ambush. Ideally, the point was to get the vultures to stay away. But couldn't that information be easily used to now all of a sudden used to now have the vultures ambush Alicia's group instead? This is what I call stupid pacifism. We're trying to prevent violence against enemies could easily have gotten your friends killed instead."
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't just trying to prevent violence against his friends. He was also trying to prevent his friends from having to kill more people because he believes that killing the living is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
So
kill. Unless he's cleared.
Unless he's cleared. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring up that for our WTF writers moment, it was this guy from Forbes magazine.
I have read a surprising amount of TV reviews on Forbes. Normally I thought Forbes was supposed to be financial stuff, but a lot of times when I'm looking up recaps, I'm like, oh, Forbes. Yeah. Okay, why not?
And a lot of it is just complaining about how
it really is.
So
they're the Siskel of
I like what Fuse says. Agreed, we need killing, but we need acting. So,
that's fair.
You can't go have a good show. So
good balance of both.
And also Fuse says we need a new female lead. How about and Jack says, how about Sofia Vergara?
Selma Hayek, Penelope Cruz. No.
So we're going with all Latina actresses now, or
yep, I guess
they're all very pretty.
Sofia Vergara is from
Modern Family.
Texas. So because it's Texas, it's all Latina.
Yeah, that's why there's so many Brazilians around.
Yeah.
Oh, screw it. Just bring in Meg.
Wait, what type of Brazilians are we talking about?
Actually, wait, no. Actually, no. According to Modern Family, she's Colombian.
Yes. So, and we can't make fun of her at all because she's married to a very big guy that I'm scared of.
Yeah. He is scary. He's also a giant D&D nerd, by the way.
Yeah, I heard. But we'd love to talk more, Fuse, because you finally joined us in the chat room, and
Yeah,
but
but
we've
I'm
been
about to
talking for an
explode.
hour and he's going to explode. So let's wrap this all up. We are here every Monday at 9 p.m. to talk about what's going on with Fear the Walking Dead, except next Monday because they are taking a break for a week before they come back with the next 2 episodes before they take another mid-season break. So,
Sure.
you are never late, Fuse. You are always right on time, precisely when you plan to be.
Are you late or are you early?
Yeah.
Early for next week. Well, 2 weeks from now.
So let's talk about where we can follow everybody. Mrs. Malice, where can we follow you when we're not here chit-chatting about anything Walking Dead?
Mrs. Malice, at Mrs. Malice 4134 on Twitter. That's it.
Okay. And how about you, Mr. Icy Zorro?
At Icy Zorro on both Twitter and Instagram. Mostly wine stuff. Good little bit of scenery from around where I live, and occasional nerd stuff too.
Okay. And you can follow me on Twitter at @mest_MaliceCorp or on Instagram at mest5150. As well as all these things that you see here, Malice Corp, MaliceCast, Nerd Mosh Pit, Quest for Movies. We have multiples of all different types of podcasts going on.
So many podcasts.
iTunes, Stitcher, here on Twitch, over on YouTube. Check out any of our stuff. MaliceCast is going to be this Friday. I heard that possibly one of our casts might be coming to try and do a takeover of it. I don't know if they're going to let them or not. I'm not there this Friday, so it might end up happening.
What is happening?
Nerd Mosh Pit's hitting their 1-year anniversary. I heard.
Oh, nice.
I heard that they're trying to break the door down and come take over our MaliceCast on Fridays.
As if we don't have enough beards normally.
Yeah. So, but yeah, every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we also cast All Things Nerd on MaliceCast here on Twitch. So you can join us for that. And then Nerd Mosh Pit is another podcast about all things nerd that's on iTunes and Stitcher, and it's a little bit more adult friendly on it. Quest for Movies, or Quest for 100 on iTunes and Stitcher, is our movie podcast where 2 of our members are trying to watch 100 films in a calendar year in the movie theater. And then we also have Malice Corp Smash Talk, which is Smack Talk, which is our Smack Talk, which is our wrestling podcast. And we have, if you go to Twitter, at All for Comics, Comics for All, our podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, is our comic book podcast about just conversations you have at conventions and in comic shops and stuff like that. So you guys should come check out all that stuff. And
by the way, Preacher's coming back soon.
Yeah. And as always, you can follow our heckling producer, as he's calling himself in the chat room, Mr. Jack Malice, on Twitter at Jack_Malice.
He's Statler and Waldorf all rolled up into one.
Yes, we have a wrestling podcast. There's actually episodes of it here on Twitch that if you want to check them out.
Do you need a breather after saying all that? Because that was a lot.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
We did the whole thing in like 2 breaths.
I know, right? I was like, dang.
So, go check out all those podcasts. If you check them out on iTunes or Stitcher, please leave a 5-star review. It helps other people see the podcast and come back to listen to more of them. Yeah, Jack's saying they snuck the wrestling podcast past him. I was trying to say all that stuff really fast so I could say it in one breath. I lost my train of thought. So thank you for coming and talking with us about Fear the Walking Dead. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yes. Preacher is coming back soon. It's coming back right around the time that Fear the Walking Dead is going to go on hiatus, which means that the Preacher cast will be back right after that. So it's perfect timing. So
awesome.
With that being said, you guys keep surviving out there, even though we're all infected. Thank you for coming, and join us next Monday. And you guys keep nerding on, and we will see you when we see you.
Have you seen my zombie?
Yeah, have you seen my zombie?
He's right there.
Carry on.